Welcome back, horse.
Hey, I probably shouldn't say this, but
therapy was booked, and this is probably cheaper. Welcome to the Somewhat Toxic Podcast. So last time we realized that it's like really hard to go ahead and like take a shot every time I say like. It's really hard to start up the conversation in the beginning. Once the conversation gets flowing, everything's Gucci. But to start up the conversation, we stood here. I think I cut out about 15 minutes of us just staring at each other. So we decided that at the beginning of each podcast, we would have a question to answer to start the conversation. And the hope is that like maybe we'll get some viewers and stuff and people will ask questions for us. But for now, we're going to use ChatGPT. Chat says, if you were not related, would you be friends? Be honest.
hell no.
Not even a little bit. We've had this conversation. We would not be friends. One thing I really appreciate is that this bitch is so honest. Like, she is the one person who's going to be like, you're being a cunt. You're being unhinged. You are being way too emotional about that. And some of the things that we do say to each other would definitely end a friendship. But then when we have to come back together at like Christmas time, because that's what happened this past year, once we see each other at Christmas, we're kind of forced to talk to each other and it rekindles a spark.
Yeah, our personalities clash too much. We're both bitches. So a friendship, like just meeting each other out in the wild, would not work.
Yeah, 100%. Because although I appreciate the honesty, the approach is a little off sometimes.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people say. That bitch is honest, but she a bitch. I'm working on it. I am working on it. I haven't had no crash outs this year, so
I think being sick from the pregnancy has helped you.
Fuck this shit. I will never get pregnant again.
That's what everybody says while they're pregnant.
Never. I mean it.
Don't.
I was just supposed to be the cucka.
Be
I was
one
just
and
supposed
done.
to be the aunt.
We weren't sure. Like, we thought that she might end up with kids, but at what, like, we really were like, I can't take a shot every time I say like.
Take a shot on our last podcast every time I said fuck. I promise I'll work on it.
But we thought that she was like gonna be just the cool, fun aunt, and no, she's pregnant. Now she's having a baby. But be one and done. One and done is cool as hell. I wouldn't trade my kids for anything, but when there was just one of them,
So easy.
I could afford to do so much more with them. My time was, I didn't have to split it up between these motherfuckers.
Yeah. I think I'm just done at this one. I don't think I can do this ever again.
By the way, if you didn't know, we will not be naming him Rufus because he is a she.
She's a she.
It's a girl.
I'm also 15 weeks pregnant now. We have not had time to film another one. So
we were hit by Ice-Mageddon.
A lot has happened. Oh my God.
And then Preggers over here got sick, or not sick, but she got pregnancy sick because I had her in the car for too long. She threw up so vigorously, trigger warning, I guess, I don't know, sorry. She threw up so vigorously that she ended up with blood vessels popped in her face and 2 black eyes. It was fun.
So if you're ever thinking about having kids, think about it real hard.
She is now 15 weeks pregnant. Since our last episode, they moved her due date, so that added a little bit of time. Because at our last episode, you were, 11 weeks?
Yeah.
Or you thought you were? She had an ultrasound. They changed her due date. So she was like a week further than she thought she was. And then a couple weeks have passed. So 15 weeks pregnant now for, anybody keeping track.
Yep. And the ice storm. I was without power for damn near 3 days while being fucking pregnant. It sucked. It was awful. Mm-hmm.
And then we run out of things to talk about again.
Our mom was going to start an OnlyFans.
The snowpocalypse has left a lot of people in a undesirable financial situation. And Mommy Dearest has decided that she wants to start an OnlyFans directed for older men.
She says she gonna pop them teeth out. and she gonna do what it does on a cucumber.
Gum it up, girl. Gum it up. So, you know, when we get her handle, y'all gonna have to check her out.
Hella money. I got like hella money. I got like hella money. I got like $5. My account's in the negatives.
So I guess back to our previous conversation about the friend thing. It's cool that you're stuck with me because when I don't have any other friends, I always got you. Except for when we're not talking, I guess. But
No. I'm surprised we haven't fought already. After her power came on before mine did, so I came to her house and I didn't leave for like a week. Well, technically I still haven't. I spent one day at home in the last 2 weeks, maybe.
After her power came back, she didn't have hot water, so she just hung around.
And we haven't fought. Period. Go us. It's bound to fucking happen now that we said something, though.
Probably. I don't know. We're working on growth, and a lot of our fights are stupid. The thing about us, one of the reasons we clash is because both of us are stubborn, especially when it comes to each other. If we fight about something, neither of us are going to be the one to come back and be like, yo, sorry about that. We're just going to kind of wait for something to force us to start talking again and then pretend it didn't happen.
Yep. Never been good at taking accountability. And formally being like, I'm sorry, that was because of me. Just kind of like, hey, how the kids doing? You want to go get some coffee?
Just casually pop up in the group chat.
Yeah, that's usually how we ended up talking again.
Like when people cut me off, I don't ever reach out first. I just, like if I cut somebody off, I guess that's what it is. Like if I cut somebody off, I feel like I put up that boundary, so I should be the one to reach out first. But if somebody else cut me off and they're the one that put up the boundary, I'm not going to overstep their boundary and be like, try to break no contact that they decided on.
Fuck my baby dead. Fuck my baby dead. Fuck my baby dead. I seen someone on TikTok earlier that gagged the fuck out of me. It said, this guy texted her and he said, yeah, well, I got with another girl last night. She said, does she know you're meant to address the elephant in the room and not undress it?
She left for like 10 minutes. And then we were out driving around and door dashing and stuff. And literally 30 minutes later, she starts cracking up about something. I'm like, what? And she's like, you're supposed to address the elephant in the room, not undress it. And I was like, bitch, are you still laughing about this? And she was.
Because, like, I can't name no names, but, like,
he heard us talking about him.
Hello?
We were on the phone with somebody earlier while they were watching our podcast.
Hey, Carter.
Hey. And he had said something and it prompted me saying this. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to put this in the podcast. So here we are. Because this is relevant to the story. My dad died on March 2nd, 2014. I'm going to put in a little trigger warning here. Okay. My dad died via sewer slide, via the wraparound. So my dad was living in Michigan at the time. Our other sister, the one that we had told y'all about before, she was living with my dad in Michigan. I was living in Tennessee with my mama. Well, my friend had been staying the night with me and her, woke up the next morning. I don't really remember a whole lot about, that whole thing. But I remember that morning she was still at my house and I was standing in the kitchen and I was making me some toast. I don't know why I remember, but I was buttering toast. I was making me some butter and sugar toast. That was a delicacy when you're poor, okay? Butter and sugar. And my mom gets a phone call and she's like freaking out, like, and I can hear my other sister, like crying on the phone or whatever. I don't remember exactly what my mom said, but I'm pretty sure she was literally just like, Alyssa, your dad's dead. And I was like,
damn it.
And then I went back to buttering my toast. I didn't know how to respond to that. I was 14, okay? And so my poor friend is sitting on the couch and she's like, she don't know how to react. So anyways, the reason this was relevant, flash forward to present day, okay? And she had made a post on Facebook that was like, hey, post a picture of us in the comments. If you have a picture of us, post a picture of it in the comments. I want to see it. So I went to find this one picture that I knew that we had and post that in the comments. I'll insert the picture here. I was like, oh my God, this picture is so funny, because it is. And I looked at the date because I noticed like what was posted around that picture. And this picture was posted in March 2014. So then I realized that what we were doing in that picture, while we were wearing our green mustaches, and we had also been baking cookies. We posted like 20 pictures at that time. Baking cookies, wearing our green mustaches. We were listening to One Direction. My daddy was finding a tree. But at least somebody was having a good time, because he wasn't. Maybe that was like my last shot of innocence or something. Probably not. It really didn't affect me that much at the time.
Didn't you do the same thing when you found out? Oh no, that was recently.
What?
Well, not recently, but a few years ago, when y'all's grandma died or something. You live in.
Oh, no. Whenever my grandmother died, if you're talking about my dad's mom, I was standing in Kroger when my aunt called me. And to preface the story, and no disrespect to anybody in my family, I'm so sorry because this is going to sound so shitty, but my grandmother and I had not spoken since before my dad died. My grandmother was like pissy with me that I had chosen to go live back with my mom whenever my sister decided to stay with my dad. That's a long story for another time. But long story short, I chose to live with my mom. And I think my grandmother was like pissy about that. So when I showed up to my dad's funeral, nobody spoke to me. People walked straight past me and talked to my sister. I literally sat on the floor because there wasn't a seat for me at my dad's funeral. Like the reserved seats in the front row that are supposed to be for immediate family. He only had 2 kids. He had no wife. The only person he had ever been married to was my mom. And she was remarried. And he had no other children. It was just me and my sister. And there's supposed to be like a reserved front row for that. And people were sitting in it. And nobody made sure that we had seats. So my sister sat on my mom's lap, like 4 rows back, and I sat on the floor next to them. And my grandmother talked to my sister at the funeral, didn't say anything to me. Whenever after the funeral, she had literally called my sister in the car. My sister was like, oh, do you want to talk to Alyssa? And she was like, no. And got off the phone, never spoke after that. So about 4 years later, 3 or 4 years later, because I was pregnant with my daughter at the time, I'm standing in the Kroger and my aunt calls me and she's like, hey, your grandmother died. And I didn't really know how to respond to that because, what?
That's fucking sad.
Oh, I thought that you were telling me that this is the wrong grandmother. But yeah, she was like, my grandmother or your grandmother died. And I didn't really know how to respond because although like I could find it in my heart to forgive her now, at the time I could not. Okay. There was a lot going on at the time. The very last thing on my mind was forgiving that woman. So I was like, I'm sorry for your loss. I probably could have been nicer about it at the time, but it kind of caught me off guard. So I was like, I don't really know what to say to that. Sorry for your loss. And then got off the phone because I was pretty salty with her still.
I know I just sat here and laughed when you were talking about your dad. Like, well, like, that's the first time some bitch has told me something like that. And I've been like, aha, they made you sit on the floor. I'm like, that's fucking sad.
Yeah, I was still really I was in shock. Okay. I hadn't been crying about my dad dying or anything. I think I was in shock. I don't know. I also don't do death. I don't handle death very well. Like, what do you mean you're dead? Like, what do you mean you're just never gonna breathe again? That's weird. Like, I don't know how to respond to that. That makes no sense to me.
What do you mean you're dead?
Like, you were literally just alive. And so I didn't like, my sister gave a eulogy at the funeral, and whenever she gave the eulogy, I cried because she cried. And I don't like when my, sister cries, but I don't know. I don't think I cried about my dad dying until like years later.
I don't think I've ever seen you cry over him. Not like she doesn't care about her dad way, but
I cried when I had my daughter because he couldn't meet her because that would have been his first grandchild. I cried when I got married because like he wouldn't be like walking me down the aisle or whatever. And whenever I was supposed to be having a big wedding, I was going to have a dance with my sister to the song. And when I listen to that song, I cry. But other than that,
I will literally cry right now.
I really cry about it.
That is so sad.
If somebody dies in a movie, though, it's bad. maybe that's me like releasing my trauma. When people die in the movies, it just hits close to home because I don't cry in real life about people dying.
007.
I cried like a baby over George O'Malley though.
There's a lot of heartbreak in that show that I don't think I can fucking handle right now.
Do you see something in my nose?
No.
I can't snort. What the fuck?
Our mama could.
I can usually snort. I don't know what happened. I think my nose is too dry. I just realized what you meant when you said our mama could snort. That went right over my
I
head.
don't know.
Right over my head. By the way,
My bad.
my mama knows we're talking about her previous drug issue, okay? Before anybody comes at us. Don't worry, I won't mention anybody else's drug problems.
Yeah, just to clarify, if anybody watches our podcast that has never dealt with addiction or grew up the way we did, not like the exact same way, but just never dealt with addiction, and you're sitting here being like, your parents are fucking shitty or whatever the fuck it may be, screw you.
I'm very pro addiction as a disease.
Absolutely. It is.
Like, you made the choices to get you to the point of being an addict. Like, you made the choices to pick up those drugs or pick up that alcohol or whatever. But once you're addicted to something, it's no longer a choice. Like, that's...
And a lot of people's addiction, just like our mother, the opioid epidemic was very much real, because doctors, you would go in for a knee injury and they were like, here's some...
We're getting political.
Here's some, what was it? Lyrica, Oxy.
Well, Lyrica's not really... That's... but like
I don't know.
Like, her drug of
opiate.
choice, her drug of choice was like oxycodone. And our mama, that woman, she is a very sickly woman. Okay, she needs the medicine.
She has a million and one medical issues.
Like, you know, when you're at the doctor's office and you're checking off like your parents' medical history, just go on ahead and circle the whole damn thing. But she, for instance, she has had like 13 feet of her bowels removed.
Mm-hmm.
And
she has severe Crohn's.
She has like everything wrong with her back that you could have wrong with your back. And she's got a lot of issues where she actually does need pain medicine. And now she doesn't take it. She chooses not to because she, you know, is an addict. And, you know, she doesn't want to risk it for the biscuit. But that's how she ended up, you know, addicted. She was prescribed it. She was prescribed pain medicine for so long that they literally like maxed her out on pain pills. And then somebody one day was like, yo, have you ever tried sticking it up your nose? And she was like, no. And then she did it once and it was over. And she had way too easy of access to it.
Yep.
And then it was all downhill from there.
And our plan is to never come on here and bash our mother. Our plan, I mean, we never want our mom to watch our podcast and feel bad about anything.
Yeah, we've talked to our mom about this, by the way. Like, she told us, like, whenever we told her that we were planning on starting this, she was like, we have a very good relationship with our mother now. Okay, that is my bestie. I call her for everything. Like, I'm like, hey, reminder, the grass is green today.
I was just going to say that. The sky is blue was what I was going to say.
So, you know, we talk several times a day, every day. But we talked to her whenever we were planning on starting this, and she was like, even though things might hurt my feelings, you're allowed to tell your story. Nobody can tell you that you can't tell your story and things that affected you if it's something that, you know, affected you or something that you were a part of. And even if it hurt my feelings, there's nothing you can say that I did that I didn't know that I did. I know that, you know, I did shitty things. I know that I wasn't the mother I was supposed to be at all times, but that is your story to tell.
We know now that she was sick and she wasn't in the right headspace, unfortunately, to...
And after many years of addiction, I got pregnant with my daughter. And a couple months later, my sister got pregnant with her first kid. And it was too late for us. You know, we were already fucked up. But my mom was like, I'm not doing that to my grandbabies. I already fucked up my kids. My grandbabies are never knowing this version of me. And she never went to rehab. She never went to a clinic. Which if you need to do those things, please, for the love of God, do them. However, she, strongest woman I know, hands down, literally decided one day, I cannot do this anymore. My grandbabies cannot know this version of me. She showed up at my sister's house, laid on the couch, and detoxed, and about died, and then never picked it back up again. She's had surgeries since then. Her doctors have literally looked at her and been like, "Hi, you're insane. You need this medicine." And she's like, "I don't. No for me, dog."
She's on 7, 8 years.
No, my daughter is about to turn 9, and she got clean whenever I was pregnant with her. So she got clean in 2017. So in April, I think her sobriety date is April 2nd. April 2nd, 2017. So this April, it'll be 9 years clean.
Shout out to Mama. Hey, girl. But yeah, I really just wanted to throw that in here that we are not bashing her or anybody with addiction for that
And
matter.
she's helped a lot of people. So if anybody's struggling and you need somebody to talk to, we'll give you her information, because she's
literally.
This episode got so serious. That's probably about as political as we're gonna get, because I ain't finna come on here talking about like the Epstein files, or gonna get canceled before we even start.
Ugh, I feel like we've already said some cancelable things.
Cancelable.
I
don't even know if that's a word.
It is now. I was thinking about this earlier with my kid, because me and my child's father grew up very differently, and I don't want, because I know we're gonna parent so different. I don't want my kid to grow up spoiled as shit and be one of them kids who don't know what struggles like. Obviously, I don't want my kid to know what struggles like, but I want my kid to grow up knowing what the real world is and what happens, and not just know like, oh, all I know is money and I'm gonna get whatever I want. I fully plan on teaching my kid like everything. I don't want them to be sheltered, and I fear that's how he's gonna want to parent, and that I don't want that.
Yeah, you definitely have to find a middle ground. Like, I try to find a middle ground with my kids. My kids kind of do have everything that they want, unfortunately. I have a problem. I cannot go to a store without bringing them back something.
Yeah, but that's different. Your kids are spoiled snobs.
They're spoiled. They're just not snobs. But they, I've tried to also, my 3-year-old obviously doesn't understand, but my 8-year-old, she understands, like
things cost money is what
things cost money. Like, when we're looking at stuff, she'll check the price of things, and if it's something that's too expensive, like, she won't even ask for it. She actually won't even ask for things most of the time. Like, every once in a while she'll be like, "Hey, can we get this?" But most of the time, like, I notice that there's something that she's interested in, and I get it for her, because she knows that we struggle sometimes, and she doesn't want, you can tell that she doesn't want to feel like she's contributing to that. So I feel like I've done a good job in teaching her that, like, things do cost money and you can't always have things, because I had to for her to, put 2 and 2 together like that.
Also, I didn't come on here to like dog him. That sounds like that's what it was, but
if you do, just give your kid everything you want, as long as you teach them to also respect people.
Yeah.
Pop off,
sis. My toe really hurts. My fat ass is sitting on it. Oh my gosh, I have to move my leg down here. Okay.
Your toes are red.
For free.
I don't think they can see it because it's on the table. Pay for it?
You just let me know.
Just find me on Feet Finder.
I have a Feet Finder.
As you should, queen.
Just kidding.
Here's the app.
I do have a Feet Finder, but I think my account got suspended because I had so much like inactivity. Because it's not just Feet Finder. It's kind of like OnlyFans. You have to post, I think it's like at least 5 posts, and they have to be somewhat nudity before your account gets verified or some shit like that. I don't remember.
You have to have nudity in your feet photos? What do you do? Like, give them nipples?
I don't know. I just envision taking a picture. Like, I would do it, but I can't. Putting my foot right here, topless, and then just snapping that. And that's the profile picture. Doing aerobatics up in here.
Acrobatics.
There we go.
I wish I was one of those girls that could like put my feet behind my head. My husband can put my feet behind my head, but I can't do it.
No, I can't. No.
I don't understand that. Like, why can you do that to me, but I can't do it myself? Why do I bend different ways?
In the bedroom, but I can't do it myself.
Like, if he can do it, I should be able to do it.
Has he ever tried to make you suck his dick? Like,
I don't know what you're saying.
Okay, if this was the edge of the bed,
like hanging off the bed,
and he was standing there.
No, I can't say he has. I don't think. I don't think I've ever upside down fucking corn dog that bitch.
Full nose in the.
This is where
Is that the
mom's checking out.
scrotum?
Mom was like, there's definitely some things from your podcast that I could have, done without watching. We thought she was talking about, I was talking about her drug addiction. And she was like, no, I didn't know, what position you were put into. Or I didn't need to know what position you've been thrown into in the bedroom. Like,
That's the scrotum, right?
what? The sack?
Dig balls, the area in between, and then the asshole.
No. The scrotum is what holds the balls. The area in between, that's the
goosh. No?
There's another word for it. I think it's like, isn't that what the taint is?
No, that's like the dick.
The taint is not. The taint definitely has to do with the asshole. I just don't know if the taint is the asshole or if it's that area you're talking about. No, your gooch is right. I just don't know if that's what the gooch is. Google it. Look it up right now.
I think that's what it is. Hey Siri, what's a goosh? Yeah, it is.
The area in between? Okay, now look up what a taint is.
The area between the anus and the scrotum.
Okay.
Hey Siri, what's a taint? I don't think it's that.
A taint is an undesirable quality which ruins the status or reputation of someone or something. I mean, yeah, precisely. But I think that it's also asshole. I'm going to need you to open actual Google.
Okay. My FBI agent's like, what the fuck? What's the last thing I Googled?
Little oval pill with a G1 on it. Was that the Zofran that I gave you? Yes. You Googled to make sure it was Zofran?
I have anxiety about taking medication. While she's Googling that, quick story, I used to have really bad anxiety and intrusive thoughts to the point where I quit getting fountain drinks from gas stations because I was convinced that people was putting drugs in them.
Oh, I was right. I was going to say perineum, but I didn't want to sound stupid. That is the technical term for it is a perineum, that area. But yeah, taint also. It says there's a lot of meanings to taint. So the first definition of taint is a trace of decay, infection, or pollution. Like tainted food. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Oh.
Dishonor or discredit. So a mark that harms reputation. So that's what it was talking about before. So a political career damaged by the taint of a scandal. I don't know that I would ever say that, my guy. Legal taint. So evidence that is considered invalid is apparently what a legal taint is. And then computing, a security feature known as taint checking. If somebody was ever like, I'm here for taint checking, I'd be like, you mean like a cough and squat situation? And then anatomy, a colloquial.
Yep.
A colloquial
You're doing amazing, sweetie.
For the perineum, the area between the anus and the genitals. I think a gooch is like specifically on a man. I think that's why when you would call it a gooch.
I had a man.
I think so. Apparently, taint and perineum is like gender neutral.
I'm pretty sure I had a man say that it feels good if you like fuck with that.
But yeah, I forgot how we even got into this conversation.
Sucking dick off the bed.
Where is the male taint? In males, it is found between the bulb of the penis and the anus.
The bulb of the penis and the anus?
By bulb, does it mean scrotum?
So like...
Because when I think bulb of the penis, I think of the part that looks like an alien finger.
Right.
Here we go. The taint.
So anyway, yeah, if you don't want to have your nose in the gooch, I don't recommend sucking dick off the bed.
Oh, that's how we got into it. You were that's what your nose is in. Got you. Yeah. I didn't know how we got into the gooch.
And then you're like your eyes are just kind of closed. And it's like it's hot. I
feel like if he's got a hairy ass, you'd get some hair in your eyes.
It's all hairy.
You definitely get some in your eyes.
You'll be sucking dick and then you gotta stop.
You'd be playing butterflies with their ass hairs. You know, like butterfly kisses with other people's like eyelashes, but with their like ass crack hairs. Like,
have you ever ate somebody's ass?
No, never will.
Never did anything with anybody's ass?
No, it's not for me, my guy. It's just not. You ain't eating my ass. I ain't eating yours.
I
mean, if you eat ass, put some icing on it. I don't know. Fuck it up, but it's just not for me.
Yeah, I had somebody who said that they would be willing to let me, what is it called? Peg them.
I just
You want
couldn't.
to guess who?
It's not for me. That tracks. If you're talking about who I think you're talking about, 100%. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
I feel like we should pause, read a Bible verse. You want to know the verse of the day today? What is it?
What is 2 Corinthians 12:9?
Mine is Isaiah 54:17.
Okay.
But y'all didn't notice that.
So I have 2 Corinthians 12:9 and that says Hebrews and Shebrews. Oh, Hebrews 11:1 and Shebrews. So Hebrews 11:1 and 2 Corinthians 12:9. So Shebrews is this coffee shop that used to be in Lafayette, Tennessee. I think they closed down, but that's what Hebrews and Shebrews means.
Y'all thought that we wasn't Christians because how we talk. Today's Bible verse is 1 Timothy 4:8. For physical training is of some value, but godliness has value for all things, holding promise for both the present life and the life to come.
What version is that?
I think NIV and NLT is what I have. I think my Bible's NLT and this one's NIV because I can't.
My Bible's NLT and I love it. I have a Bible that like it's NLT, which means New Language Translation. If you don't know.
New Living.
New Living. Yeah, you're right. New Living Translation. See, I don't even know. New Living Translation, if you don't know. And New Language. That doesn't even make sense. Anyways,
okay. We're tired.
It's okay. And it's got little like it's called a spiritual growth Bible because I'm trying to spiritually grow. And it's got like little passages and stuff that like explain things that are happening because sometimes it's a little hard to understand. And it also like tells you how you need to apply these things that are being said into your everyday life. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I wish I would have gotten a Bible like that. I just got a regular schmegular one. Check that ass, bitch, and let me see what you got. Nothing. But it's okay.
Yeah, absolutely nothing.
As she would say, a pancake is still a cake.
A pancake is still a cake. I posted a TikTok the other day of me throwing it back in the bathroom. And the thing was banging, let me tell you. And I put on the TikTok, it was like, and to all my haters, a pancake is still cake. But then after a few minutes, I was like, oh my God, I should not post that. So then I privated it.
Why did you private it?
Because, okay, if we're being real, right after that, I had seen this TikTok that I wanted to do my own TikTok of. It's whatever the next TikTok I posted. It was something to do with, building your relationship with Christ. And I was like, I don't know if I was being convicted or what, but I was like, I can't, throw it back in the bathroom and then the next video be like, I'm trying to build my relationship with God. So the only person that saw the video was my husband, which is fine. You can throw ass at your husband all you want biblically. I did pull a muscle in my back for that video though, because I did this thing. So let me try to explain it. So the video started off with me like, singing the song to the camera. And then I did a quick spin around and then like a throw it back, throw that thing in a circle type ordeal. And you got to spread your legs a little bit to throw it in a circle. And the water was wet from my son taking a bath. And so when I, went to spread and throw, they just kept spreading.
Water is wet.
The water is wet.
You meant the floor.
Wait, that is the water. The flow was wet.
Is water wet though?
Let us know in the comments if you think water's wet. There's a major debate about that. Like, is water itself wet or do things only get wet if they're in the water? And if you're in the water, if you're fully submerged in water, are you wet or are you not wet until you come out of the water? Am I making you question your whole life?
Oh my gosh, me and Carter, hey Carter, we were talking about this.
We're going to have to get Carter on the pod.
I know. About, what the hell was it called? I don't know. Stop cockfights.
Cockfights?
Psycho. Fuck, help.
Sacrifices? Is that what you're trying to? I don't know what you're talking about.
So far away. What are people studying?
Psychology?
There we go.
How did you get cockfights out of psychology?
Psychology. Here we go. Or this professor psychology, right? That's what it was. Anyways, but he would talk about God and how that came about and all the a huge deep dive. If I could find who it is, I guess we could put it in here because I forget his name.
Are you talking about psychology or philosophy?
Philosophy.
Okay,
See, I was
that didn't
still
make
wrong.
sense. Philosophy. We're talking philosophy. Cockfights and philosophy. That might be the fucking title of this episode.
But it's really cool. Something that I would love to get into. But about, so let me think of it in my existential crisis that I was about to have. About how the world came about.
Mm-hmm.
I would stay up all fucking night thinking about this because, like, how are we here right now? And think about
on the seventh day.
And think about it. Yeah, but like, who made him, and how did they get here?
It's a very deep
and how's
question.
the world here?
I've learned to stop.
And if the world
questions.
wasn't here, we wouldn't be here, and life wouldn't be.
I don't know.
I
try not to read too deep into it. I'm very faith, trust, and pixie dust.
Creepy.
Yeah, I try not to deep dive too far into things. Like, I had seen this guy making a video. I don't know, look it up. He'll explain it a lot better than I will. But about like how dinosaurs aren't mentioned in the Bible and yada, yada, yada. And he apparently reptiles never stop growing. I didn't know that. Reptiles never stop growing. They will grow for the entirety of their life, even if it's just like very, very slowly, is what he said. So in the Bible, it says that, you know, we used to have really long lifespans. Like, there's people in the Bible that lived like 1,000 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then after the flood and yada, 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 God was like, y'all are not living that long again. Y'all get dangerous after you live to be a certain age. So then he like shortened our lifespans. And he did that with animals too. So this guy's theory was that if reptiles lived as long as they used to, like if a lizard lived to be 900 years old, if it never stopped growing, it would eventually be the size of a velociraptor. Wait, is a velociraptor a dinosaur?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, velociraptor. Like,
a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
That's like, what are those big ass lizards? Like Robbie and Jesse, his lizard?
Yeah, Mr. Kipling.
Yeah.
What is that?
Mrs. Kipling.
Yeah,
spoiler alert.
Turn out to be a Mrs.
And what if she just kept growing forever? She'd eventually, you know. So that was his theory. And then also apparently there's like some people in like another country who, if you go there, they'll tell you that there's this giant dinosaur thing that lives in the lake.
That is creepy.
And that you'll see him. Like, if you stick around long enough, you'll see him and you just can't go near him because he'll kill you. He won't eat you because he eats plants, but he'll kill you with his tail or something. I don't know. You'd have to look it up. It was playing while I was doing something the other day. I wasn't even really trying to watch it. It was just in the background while I was doing something. And
like, imagine if an alligator never quit growing.
Just kept, you know.
That'd be a terrifying fucking dinosaur.
No. All right, my daughter's screaming for us to hurry up. So that concludes this episode of the Somewhat Toxic Podcast. Don't forget to leave us a question to start our next one.
Go touch some grass, and we'll see you next time, bitches.